Welcome to Twin Talk. This is Joy, and I'm here with my sister Angie. And before we get started on today's podcast, we want to dedicate this podcast to our mother. Angie, can you tell our listeners why we're doing that today?
Today is our mother's birthday, and she's 80 years old.
Tell the listeners a little bit about our mother, Doris.
Oh, you're not putting me on the spot at all.
What are some of her traits that we love about her the best?
Oh my. The things we love about her her willingness to always help us whenever we need her.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have one memory of asking her to help me or to watch my kids ever to remember her turning me down unless she had a doctor's appointment or some reason.
And here's the thing, even if she has a doctor's appointment or something planned, she will offer to cancel it in order to help you out or me out.
And a lot of times she'll, say like I take my kids to your house, she'll go to the doctor and she'll swing by and pick them up on her way home.
She is one of the most selfless.
Yeah.
Yes, she's very selfless. She always puts others before herself, even though she has a lot of back pain.
Yes.
She's had a knee replaced. She's in a lot of chronic pain, and even though she's in a lot of pain, she still wants to come help us clean our house.
Yeah.
She's still willing to help, watch our kids. Yeah. And I would say selfless is one of the key adjectives that would describe her.
Well, and as our listeners know, my son has played baseball his entire life, and he just turned 19 a few days ago. Oh, happy birthday, Cade.
Happy late birthday, Cade.
He just turned 19 on the 27th of June. Aww. Today's July 1st. Anyway, what I was going to say was, I can probably count on one hand how many baseball games she's missed. She's been to almost every one of his baseball games, and a lot of them we've traveled many, many miles, and she's rode many miles. Oh, and that's the other thing. She always lets us drive her van.
Yes, she has a really nice, 8-passenger van.
Yeah, and so
always willing to let us borrow her van if we need it.
So she's very generous.
Very generous, very giving.
Are we going to talk about things that irritate us?
Nope, it's her birthday, and we only talk about how wonderful and awesome. Yeah. So we love you, Mom. Happy.
Mom, I was just joking. I was just saying what Joy would do.
Happy 80th birthday.
Yes.
And this Saturday, we have a surprise for her. Mm-hmm. All of her daughters, son-in-laws, grandkids, great-grandkids. We're all going to take her somewhere special to eat, and we're going to do a special activity, which we will tell you listeners later what it is in case she listens to this podcast before then.
It's very unlikely.
Very unlikely. Oh, wow. But it's funny what we're going to do after we take her out to eat. Our listeners would get a kick out of it.
Only the Jenkins family would do what we're going to do.
Would truly understand why our mom would enjoy what we're going to do.
Yeah.
Why I think she's going to enjoy it. We'll see.
Yeah.
Okay, well, having said that, happy 80th birthday, Mom. We love you. Okay, are you ready to get started on our podcast?
Yes.
Okay, here we go. Muy bien. Oh, wait, that's Spanish.
Oh.
Bienvenue à la conversation jumelle. Je suis Joy et je suis avec Monsieur Angie.
Oh, my Lord.
So, I totally butchered that, I'm sure, because I do speak a little Spanish, but and we have any French listeners? Oh, yeah, we do have one French listener out there.
Yes,
they are probably groaning right now. They're probably like, oh my gosh, she just totally butchered that. But what I was trying to say was, welcome to Twin Talk. I'm Joy, and I'm here with my sister Angie.
Really? And that was in French?
That was in French. I looked it up on Google Translate. Mm-hmm. I even listened to it a few times.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah.
I'm going to turn this mic just a little bit. I feel like it's not picking me up.
There. Much better.
It wasn't picking me up for whatever reason.
So anyway, I know I just butchered that, but could you tell I was at least trying to speak French?
Oh, there was one word in there in particular that I was like, that's definitely a French word.
Okay, good
job.
Jamel.
What was that word?
I think
Whatever it was, your accent was so good. I was like,
Jumel. I don't know if that's twin or not.
Oh, it's okay. That was the word. That was my clue. I was like, oh, she's speaking French.
The name, I know, it's impressive. The name of our book that we will be discussing today, I've read it, Angie has not, is The Paper Girl of Paris.
Oh, okay. I was wondering what book we were doing. I thought it was something else. Okay.
Well, I changed my mind at the last minute.
You had said A Good Girl's Guide to Murder or something
yes,
like that.
A Good Girl's Guide to Murder.
Oh, okay. That's what I thought we were doing.
And we are going to go ahead and do that another time.
Okay.
But this one's fresher in my mind because I just finished it not too long ago.
Oh, okay.
And I like this one so much better.
Okay, I'm sorry. Repeat the title.
It's called The Paper Girl of Paris.
Okay.
So before we get started, I'm just curious. When you hear that title, what do you think the book is going to be about?
The Paper Girl
of Paris. The Paper Girl of Paris. Just anything. What's your first impression of what you think the book would be about?
Honestly, nothing comes to mind. I mean...
You know what came to my mind was paper dolls.
Oh, okay.
And I didn't really have anything to do with it, but I thought, honestly, and I think it's because I was flipping through Netflix not too long ago, and there's this newer series about this girl. She gets transferred to Paris with her job. She's real young. She looks like she's about 23. And it's about her life in Paris and not speaking French and kind of... And I haven't even got to see one episode. I think it's because I saw that I just assumed that this book was going to be some chick lit, girl goes to Paris. Yeah, I thought it was going to talk about the fashion, the makeup, the boys, the sights of Paris. I thought it was going to be real light reading. Mm-hmm. I was pleasantly surprised that it's actually historical fiction.
Oh, okay.
But before we start, there are some crucial words you have to know if we're going to talk about this book.
Okay.
You have to understand some basic French if you're going to read this book.
Oh.
Angela. So I'm curious. I'm going to say a few words in French.
Oh, no.
And we're going to see how much French you know.
Oh.
And I know we have that one French listener.
Yeah.
The one that listens every time.
Yes.
I don't know who you are. But I wish you would leave a message. Not a massage, but a message. Because I love to hear French people's accents.
It's cliché de France.
Cliché de île.
Oh,
France. I don't know. We want this person to leave a message.
All right.
Okay, Angie. Bonjour.
Oh, that means hello, right?
Yes.
Okay.
And here's what I didn't know.
Bonjour.
It's the same in Spanish. Buenos dias can mean hello or good morning.
And I was just thinking the same thing. I wondered if it meant hello or goodbye.
It can. Well, actually, it can mean hello or good morning.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Bonjour.
Au revoir.
Oh, no, that does sound like goodbye.
That's goodbye.
Okay.
Parlez-vous anglais?
Do you speak English?
Good.
Okay.
Merci.
Thank you.
Muy. Yeah. I keep wanting to say muy bien because I say that so much in Spanish.
Merci.
How about oui?
Yes.
Non.
No.
Okay.
Oh.
You got them all.
Okay.
You are qualified to discuss this book now.
Because when you said basic terms, what was going through my head was oui, oui.
Oui, oui.
Oui, oui, oui. Pepe le Pew.
Pepe le Pew. Okay. So the book is called The Paper Girl of Paris. I really did think it was going to be chick lit, light reading. But I immediately discovered that it was much deeper than that. It is historical fiction. It was written by Jordan Taylor, and it was published in it was published in April of 2021. So this is a very new book. Only been out couple months.
Wow.
Yeah. I didn't realize that when I was reading it, how new it was. I'm going to read.
Wow, so you're absolutely one of the first
Apparently,
readers.
we may be one of the first people to review this.
We may be one of the first people to actually do a book review on this.
That's true. And it already has rave reviews from all the things I've seen. Because I do know a lot of people get the books early, for
I guess
sneak peek type deal. But anyway, okay, I'm going to go ahead and read the review. And usually I just do it straight off of Goodreads or Amazon. But I really like this one off of Teen Vogue. So I'm going to go ahead.
How appropriate to do Teen Vogue. Isn't Vogue out of France?
Vogue.
Isn't it?
Is that a French word?
I always assumed it was Vogue. I always associate with that France. But
I do too.
I may be
think
completely
about
wrong.
it.
Maybe out of New York.
Okay, yeah. Let's just pretend that I did that on purpose. That
Okay.
we think it's a French word, and I went to Teen Vogue.
Okay.
It's not often that a young adult book comes along that makes you laugh, cry, and simultaneously teach you about the war crimes and atrocities that occurred during the deadliest war in history. Yet Jordan Taylor's debut historical fiction novel, The Paper Girl of Paris, does exactly that with a finesse that can only be read rather than explained. In Taylor's novel, a dual perspective narration follows the lives of two 16-year-old girls. Alice, who is visiting present-day Paris during the summer, and Adeline, who lives in Nazi-occupied Paris during the 1940s. While their two stories may seem wholly unrelated, the two girls have an undeniable connection based on a singular family secret. Okay, I've got one more paragraph. A quick read that history lovers will easily devour. The Paper Girl of Paris is a delightfully refreshing addition to the world of historical YA fiction, even if its ending will have you sobbing uncontrollably into a pile of tissues. Okay, and then they do interview the author in that article on Teen Vogue. But I just liked that review. So that was the summary, and I'll just go ahead and say it. I gave The Paper Girl of Paris 4.5 paper girls. I love this book, and you, I think, would like it because it's historical fiction. It's about the French Resistance. So you got a girl, it's one of those type books where you're going back and forth between past and present. Alice is your modern day 16-year-old girl. She and her parents end up in Paris, and they give the whole backstory, how her mother is, her grandmother is French and all that good stuff. But anyway.
So she does have French ancestors.
Yes,
okay.
Her grandmother actually grew up in Paris.
Okay.
And so, but she ends up meeting Soldier, and they marry, and that's why I think they ended up in the States for a while, and that's how her parents, that would be her mom.
Yeah.
It's kind of complicated, but if you read the book, they show you how everybody's related and how someone from Paris ends up in the States.
So
and then back
I'm
in Paris.
really curious as to, is it World War I or II?
II.
Okay.
So it's World War II.
Okay.
And here's the thing. Here's what I love about it. Of course, it's set in Paris, so you hear a lot about, the landmarks, the architecture, the way people are dressed. And you already know this about me, but the 40s are one of my all-time favorite periods for the way people dressed.
And just that lifestyle.
Yes, the architecture. So what happens is, and here's one thing I don't like about the book, and maybe I need to reread it, but it never really explained. The grandmother passes away. She only has one daughter, okay? She leaves her apartment in Paris to her daughter because her husband's already gone. He's already died. She does not leave it to her daughter. She skips her daughter and leaves it to her granddaughter.
Oh, okay.
But we do learn that her daughter is manic depressive, suicidal. Nobody wants to talk about it. They've even had to institutionalize her before. So that's a whole nother aspect of the book. But I think the mom is even more sad and depressed because she's like, why does she not leave the apartment to me? Why did she leave it to my daughter? Even though the granddaughter and the grandmother are very close. But here's what's cool. They walk into the apartment. It's like a time capsule. It has not been touched since they left it.
Oh, wow.
So anyway, this book is just all about the story of this granddaughter discovering who, not just her grandmother, but more specifically her great aunt. The grandmother had a sister. She's the Paper Girl of Paris. What we find out is, as she's going through this apartment and looking through old photographs and documents, she finds a picture of her great aunt, who is this beautiful, beautiful girl. And she's dining. She's at this real fancy dinner with all these Nazi officers. They all have the swastika on their arms, and she's embarrassed because she knows, what the Nazis did to the Jews, and she wants to disown her great aunt. But through a series of events, she discovers what happens. Her great aunt's actually a spy.
Oh,
she's
okay.
She's actually,
not okay. So when you say Paper Girl of Paris, I'm picturing someone who might deliver newspapers.
Exactly.
Is that right?
Basically, what she would do is she would go around and take down Nazi propaganda posters and replace it with propaganda for the French resistance.
Oh, okay.
And if she got caught, it could mean death, torture, things like that. And I don't want to say too much because, I don't want to give away any spoilers or anything. But I'll just say this. I love the book. And I read that Jordan Taylor, she grew up Jewish, and her whole life she's kind of been just super, super obsessed with the history of the Jews and of, occupied France.
So the author is Jewish?
So the author is Jewish, and she's done extensive, since she's in her teens, she's done extensive research on World War II, what the Nazis did to the Jews. I think she even did a dissertation. I think she even did like a big paper on it. And here's what's cool to me, because a lot of stuff that's discovered about her great aunt, Alice's great aunt, her grandmother, are through a journal. So a lot of the stuff's in a journal is how she figures out a lot of what really happened. And this lady, Jordan Taylor, she said she used 3 women's journals from World War II who were Jewish, and she closely read all 3 journals, and a lot of the stuff is based on those 3 journals.
Oh, that is interesting. It's very interesting.
Anyway, that's really all I have to say about it. But to me, the setting, the whole thing's set in Paris, whether it's in past or present tense, or times. And then the characters are memorable. The writing is good. I just really enjoyed this book.
So I'll tell you what's coming to my mind.
Okay.
I think when I think of Paris, London, those iconic cities over in Europe, right, France and England, I think of them in modern day terms.
Right.
But I also know there's a ton of history there. And so, like, for instance, my brother-in-law and his wife, about a year ago, they got to go to France, and they went to Paris, and then they went to all these iconic places, like tourist places, like they were on the Spanish Steps, for instance. And then my brother-in-law sent me a picture. They were standing on this road, and they think it was built like in 1600. Or
that's crazy.
In America, if we have a building that's a couple hundred years old, we're like, wow, this is 200 years old.
That's true.
But I guess the point I'm trying to make is I think of these things in modern terms. But when you were just telling me about how a lot of the book is written about what was going on during World War II,
like in late 30s, early 40s.
Okay, well that's fascinating to me, because I would love to see that perspective of what was actually going on in these cities. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I know I've seen lots of movies, and you see people and they're being bombed, and they're in shelters, and they're literally just hiding and fighting for their lives. But that's so interesting to actually read a book and read maybe what some of these people were saying in their journals was what was actually taking place in their homes and what was going on in their minds. That's kind of fascinating.
I will tell you, even
depressing.
Though it is.
Is it a pretty? But you said something about it'll make you laugh. So I guess there's some lighter moments in it. It's not all.
Here's what I like about it. Yes, there's a lot of sad parts in it, and I do like the fact that it gives you a bird's eye view of what it was like to live in Paris when it was not occupied by the Nazis, and so many things were just unjust, unfair, just barbaric. I mean, a lot of things that weren't huge things. Well, they were, like making people move out of their homes so they could take it over as a barracks or as like a headquarters, and just obviously not letting Jews have certain rights. And I mean, there's so many things at the book, but it's like, you're right, it's like having a bird's eye view of what it's like to live in Nazi occupied Paris when you're not a Jew. And now there is one Jewish character. Now none of these people are Jewish, but they're fighting for the Jews. Now I will say this, there is one Jewish boy in here. Another thing I love about the book is the ending. It's just, I love it when there's closure, and it may not necessarily be happy, but there's closure and all the loose ends are tied up and you understand what happened to who and how, and I just like that there's a nice, neat closure at the end. And
it's kind of a little bit ironic that, okay, so I don't like bloody, gory war movies.
Right.
But I've been told forever and a day, people have told me how good the movie Saving Private Ryan is.
Yeah.
So it was on Netflix or something not too long ago. It was just on for a limited time. So I sat down and watched it. And if I'm not mistaken, that was set in World War II. And there was did you see that?
I actually went and saw it at the movie theater. And I will say this, I will never forget, after it was over, it was like you could hear a pin drop.
The audience was
the movie theater was packed. Everybody was stunned in awe. I feel like it's almost out of respect.
There's a reverence.
Yes, there was a reverence in the building, and everybody exited without saying a word, and I will never forget that.
Well, this book reminded me of the part of the movie where they're dug in, waiting for they know the enemy's coming. This is the Americans, and I believe they're with possibly with some of the French troops. I can't remember, but they're in a French.
Yeah, I believe it's the French, and definitely
I think it was the French, the English, the Americans, and maybe some Australians. Honestly, I don't remember, but they were in a French city, if I remember, and it was just, to me, what struck me about that part of the movie was seeing those old buildings and all the old homes in the front, and I may have this completely wrong, but I want to say they were somewhere in France.
Yeah, I think they were.
Yeah, and it was just, and I remember thinking all that history, because you and I love history, and especially old buildings. That's just part of. There's so much history there, and just to see all that blown to smithereens, and just to see things that had stood there for hundreds of years just to be destroyed. But this book. Just you talking about that reminded me of that scene, and thinking about, wow, these people's lives were just completely uprooted and destroyed.
And you just hit on a really good point, and one I've thought about many times is, you're right, here in the United States, I mean, sometimes there's a town in Arkansas called Eureka Springs, Arkansas. And it has some really cool old buildings. And there was that big hotel. We maybe mentioned it on the podcast, Crescent Hotel. And it was built in the late 1800s, I believe. Or mid 1800s. Well, to me, I'm always like, ooh, this is so old and cool. And this hotel is gigantic. It is huge. But anyway, to us, that's old. But you're right. You go over in Europe to Spain, England, France.
They have churches
Italy.
That were built in the... I'm guessing somewhere possibly even in the 1400s.
Yes, I'll never forget. When I got to go to Spain, we were in a church in Seville, and they were talking about how it took like almost 500 years to build.
Oh, right.
And I'm like, this building's older than our country.
I remember you telling me that some of those cathedrals were so awe-inspiring. You walk inside and you were literally just speechless.
Yeah, it's just like you're just speechless and you don't even know where to look. Your eye doesn't know where to land.
Right.
But yeah, back to your point though, that's one of the most heartbreaking. Obviously, people dying and sacrificing and innocent victims, that's horrible. But another casualty is all these old, historical, beautiful buildings being destroyed. And I hate that. That's one of the worst things about war. So, have I convinced you? Is this a book that you think you would be interested in reading?
Did you read the book or did you listen to it?
So I did. Audible? This is one that I did listen to. And, I'm so glad you asked me that, because... if you like French accents,
I think I do.
I do too. It's people, of course.
We love English accents.
Yes.
Okay.
It's people speaking in English, but when they're in the past, though, they're speaking with a French accent. Okay. The main players in the past, like during the French Resistance. Okay. And so, if our listeners out there like French accents, then I would say don't read this book. I would say listen to it. But to our listeners out there, if you like historical fiction, and of course keep in mind it is young adult, and another aspect is it does leave a lot of the blood and gore and guts, and it's not one of these bloody, messy war books at all. So I like that. I appreciate that. But I highly recommend this book to anyone who likes young adult historical fiction and you're interested in the French Renaissance, the French Resistance.
Do you know how long it was?
Oh, it seems like it was only 5 or 6 hours long, but I could be way off. I should have checked that before we recorded this, but it did seem like it was a shorter listen. So. Okay. Did you have any last comments before we leave?
Well, I guess we could give our listeners just a little teaser for something we might be doing in the future.
Oh, yeah, let's go for it.
Just a little teaser for the future for those who are interested. I recently was looking at Netflix, and I was looking for something to watch, and Downton Abbey popped up. Well, in my mind, I'm thinking, I've already watched Downton Abbey. I'm a huge Downton Abbey fan, and I've watched every single episode. But I decided to watch the first episode, so I got hooked again. So now I'm working my way back through the episodes, and Joy and I don't remember if you brought it up or I brought it up.
Well, here's what's funny. Same deal here.
I think we kind of had the same.
We have a friend named Faith who told you about it the first time around.
Yeah,
right?
she recommended. She said, Angie, I know you would love this series.
Okay.
She recommended it.
So
she
then,
was right.
So she told Angie. Faith told Angie, I know you would love it. So Angie started watching it. Well, then Angie told me about it. So I started watching it, and then my husband started. He's like, "What's this?" You know, and so he started watching. Well, lo and behold, he's watched almost every episode with me. And then when I heard you were watching it again, well, guess what? Oh, I'm off on summer break. I'll put it on while I'm cleaning. Now I'm on my second round of watching it.
And so we
are huge Downton Abbey fans.
We love it so much. We decided we were like, okay, we've got to somehow include this in our podcast. Well, we know we talk about books. We don't talk about shows on Netflix series. So what we're thinking about doing, and this might even change in the future, who knows, but we're thinking about discussing each episode and doing maybe like videos, YouTube videos. So if you're ever curious to know what we look like in person besides the one picture we post on our podcast page, that's something that might be in the works.
Yeah, if you're a Downton Abbey fan, or if you're not.
Yeah, if you want to know what all the hype's about, and this is something else I think is so funny, Joy. Have you ever noticed we're like a decade behind on everything we talk about?
That's the other thing I was going to say was probably most of the listeners are like, Downton Abbey.
That is so old news. That was so yesterday. Yeah,
that is like so. I'm so over that. But to us, it's newer because we're just now discovering it.
Right. I'm cracking up because everything that I love, and then I'll actually look to see when it was produced, and I'm always at least a decade behind.
Same here. I'll be talking about something at work, like, oh my gosh, have you guys seen this movie? And they'll be like, yeah, I watched that.
Yeah, I saw it back in 1985.
Yeah, I saw that back in 2005.
Right.
You're right. Yeah. I'm always behind. And that's why I'm kind of shocked when I read this Paper Girl of Paris.
Yeah.
I was like, wait, it's not 10 years old. It's only 2 months old. I'm finally on the cutting
really
edge of something.
Yeah, it felt very bizarre to be talking about something that was actually in the same year.
I know, within a few months.
Yeah. But, I mean, you know how I think it's so funny. It's interesting to me because I know there are so many people out there who they're always about what is the latest and greatest.
Yes.
Whether it's they want the newest things, whether it's iPhones or they want the latest technology in TVs. But they also watch what is the most recent in media. They watch the most recent releases in movies and TV shows and Netflix. So, but that's not me. I'm just kind of like...
That's not us.
It just kind of... It's usually by accident that I discover things.
Yeah,
way
I don't
after
care if I'm on the
prime.
cutting edge and I'm watching what everybody else is watching. I just want to watch what's interesting to me.
Yeah, I just kind of said that to explain, because I think there are people out there that's thinking, why would you just now be watching that? But I'm trying to explain that's just how my life works.
And even if we don't have one listener, or I'm sorry, well, if we're doing it on YouTube, even if we don't have one person tune in, we're still going to have so much fun.
Oh yeah, it's not about that.
We love talking about Downton Abbey.
I'm so excited. I'm more excited right now about thinking that we get to discuss Downton Abbey than I am about this podcast.
Oh, I hate to hear
this
that.
No, I love our podcast and I look forward to it. But Downton Abbey has put a new spark in my...
Yes, and we've got to figure out the technology and how to do the camera and
well,
all that.
I thought Cambry could probably do that. She makes videos every day.
I was going to say, my 13-year-old niece probably knows more than we do.
She uses a little ring light, and she makes her own little videos on our
Just a Mom and Daughter. We'll get some help from our 13-year-old.
Oh, by the way, Just a Mom and Daughter, hashtag, however you say that.
Oh, yeah.
We have our own YouTube channel.
Oh, yeah. What is it called? Just a
Mom and a Daughter. Yeah, anyway.
All right. Did you have anything else you want to say before we sign off?
No, it sounds like a good book. I'm going to, I've been trying to walk more. So now I think I might try to listen to that when I walk in the future. When I'm walking.
Definitely. Okay, so once again, The Paper Girl of Paris by Jordan Taylor. It was just published in April of 2021. Young adult historical fiction about the French Revolution and World War II. Or I keep saying French Revolution. I'm sorry, the French Resistance movement. Yeah. Highly, highly recommend it. Thank you for joining us, and we will see you next time on Twin Talk.